The world has changed. I feel it in the ground. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, for none now live that remember it. It began with the transfer of the states of matter. The gaseous state was given to the atmosphere, highest and fairest of all spheres. The liquid state was given to the asthenosphere, miners and ancient builders of the surface of the earth. And the solid state was given to the geosphere, who above all others desires power and dominion over all spheres. But all the spheres were deceived, for in secret lied a new weapon to combat the rival spheres. Buried deep in the seas of the hydrosphere, a master compound was forged, one with the ability of traveling across the spheres of Earth and the power to change physical form due to the surrounding environment. The forger called this compound the one compound to rule them all. Others came to know it as water. One compound to rule them all, one compound to change them, one compound to rule them all, and in the spheres rearrange them. On the very day the compound was forged, the spheres of Earth experienced a full day's worth of light from the perpetual source of the lands, the almighty sun. When it came to the geosphere and the atmosphere, no change occurred. But as for the hydrosphere, in the seas of Koro, the master compound gained kinetic energy and was evaporated into the atmosphere, reigning supremacy over the skies as its own gaseous state. Once the skies were conquered by the master compound, it then condensed, forming a cloud in its liquid state. And for many days and nights it traveled great distances and over a multitude of seas, until it reached the shores of the geosphere. The geosphere tried to stop what was to come, but it was too late. At that moment, the liquid cloud of the master compound rained down and precipitated droplets of rain and ice of itself all over the ground below, so that it may permeate over its adversary. Parts of itself ran off on the surface of the ground, forming large bodies on the land. Others infiltrated into the ground, percolating right through the rocks of the geosphere, corrupting and eroding the rock that lay beneath it, until it reached an underground cave, where it collected for over 500 years. Most of the master compound stayed here in the aquifer, where it was overlooked by the cave itself, which grew rather fond of it, to the point of madness. Madness grew into jealousy. Jealousy grew into hate. Hate grew into obsession. And obsession grew into corruption. And yet, the cave swore never to give up its prized possession. However, this all came to an end when the most unlikely entity came into contact with the compound. A tree. The roots sprouted into that very aquifer, stealing the master compound for itself. The cave grew a self-loathing to the trees and vowed never to see the light of day as long as trees remained on earth. For who could forgive someone that steals your precious? After all, not only can the master compound transform and change states, but also can be used to make one's own food. The tree absorbed the master compound through its xylem, and over time fell tempted to its extraordinary power, using it to make itself food. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. What should have remained remembered became forgotten. But after many years of usage, the master compound betrayed it, transpiring off of its leaves, returning to the sphere of which it first conquered, the atmosphere. But nothing remains forever, for soon would come a day that it would condense again, falling victim to a new bearer of the one compound.